In this video today, I'm going to be taking you through some exercises that you can do at home, which is suitable for route climbers and trad climbers, but you can do on a fingerboard. Now, we all know in climbing that the forearm is an utterly essential part of the equation, and we need to be fit and strong. And we also need to have some strength and conditioning around the shoulders. So these exercises are going to be really good for that and are nice and broad. So a number of different things we're going to do. Now, don't forget that when you're warming up on a fingerboard, you need to build into it slowly. So in this session, I'm not going to be doing a warm-up, so you need to complete that before you start this video. Also remember that you can't go mad on a fingerboard. Don't start doing this 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week. You need to split these out and give yourself appropriate rest time. So build up really slowly. Last thing before you start this session is you're going to need some chalk. So make sure you've got some chalk ready for you. Your fingers, forearms and shoulders are warmed up. Let's get started on these 4 exercises for a follow along session. Okay, first exercise we're going to do is going to be jump pulls. This is a really nice way to ease into the session. So you want your fingerboard to have some really good flat edges on it that are really comfortable and feel easy for you, or the tops if you've got jugs on them as well. And what I'm going to be doing is going to be grabbing those holds with 2 hands, and I'm going to be completing 30 seconds of jump pulls. So these are like assisted pull-ups. So 2 hands on my board here, feet on the ground, and then I'm going to be jumping into my pull-ups. So this doesn't feel that intense. This might be perhaps 50% intensity, so I can do lots of them. So I'm going to complete those for my full 30 seconds. If you want to make it a little bit harder, is you can control on the down, up and control, up and control. But for me, I like a nice fast movement, and it's a really good exercise to kind of get pumped in the shoulders and in the forearms and the biceps a little bit. So really nice exercise that's pretty broad in terms of the muscle groups that it works. So that's your first exercise. Now we're going to move on to exercise number 2. For exercise 2, you're going to be doing some 7-3 repeaters at body weight. Now it's important with this exercise that you choose a grip position that's comfortable for you, and also an edge size that feels around a 6 or 7 out of 10 difficulty to hang for that 7-second hang. So this is moderately difficult hangs. So for me, I'm going to choose a 20mm edge, but for others you might be at 30 or 40mm. For really strong climbers, you might be down at 10mm. So I'm going to grab my edge, comfortable grip position for me, and I'm going to complete this on 7 seconds on, 3 seconds off, 6 times to do a whole minute of repeater hangs. So 7 seconds on, 3 seconds off, back on. And you'll notice that I'm trying to make sure my shoulders are engaged on this exercise. So I'm not really relaxing on those shoulders. Each time I'm going into that engaged position, which is here, rather than relaxed. So engaged position. And just repeating that for that full minute. So 7 seconds on, 3 seconds off. That's a whole minute of repeater exercise, and then we're going to move on to exercise number 3. For exercise 3, we're going to bring in some additional apparatus, and this is going to be a chair from home, or possibly even a box if you have one of those, but it needs to be a nice rigid object which you can place all of your body weight on to be able to assist you on this exercise, which is a fingerboard climb around. So we're going to be putting the majority of our weight on the chair or the box, and then we're going to climb around on the fingerboard using different grip positions for a full minute. So let's grab our chair, fingerboard, and we'll start this exercise. So don't forget, for this exercise, to make sure you're well chalked up, because you're going to be on it for a full minute, moving around. And then secondly is that the area behind your chair, make sure that it's well spotted out. You might place a bouldering mat behind you, because you don't want to be kind of flicking off and falling off the back of your fingerboard. So just make sure you really check your landing zone on this one. It is quite an easy exercise, so you shouldn't be slipping, but just get that prepared before you start. So I'm going to place my feet on my chair, plenty of weight on this. I'm going to grab my fingerboard, and then from here, for a minute, I'm going to move around on that board, just maintaining a relatively light intensity. This exercise, you will have come from your 7-3 repeaters, so you want this one to be an easy recovery for that previous exercise. You might get to some of the holds and shake out. Shake that hand out and carry on moving. Last exercise that we're going to do on this is number 4, and that is shoulder shrugs. You're going to do these on a really good hold on the fingerboard. So this is flat edges, the jugs on top, or even potentially a pull-up bar as well. And this is really good for the strength and conditioning around the shoulder and can complement a lot of the fingerboard work that you might be doing. So what we're looking for this is that when we get our shoulder into that hanging position, is that we're bringing that shoulder from a totally relaxed position high to an engaged position lower. So you'll see there's going to be a difference in the distance between your ear and your bicep once you've got that shoulder position engaged. So we're going to try and do those shoulder shrugs for 30 seconds on a big hold. So there you have it. That's 4 exercises that you can do at home on a fingerboard. These are really good for the forearm, the bicep, and the shoulders, and they're super convenient. They transfer really well into your route climbing and your trad climbing. And don't forget, as ever, make sure that progressive loading is occurring over a period of weeks and you're not suddenly ramping it up. So we'll see you again very soon for some of these other videos with Wild Country training at home.